Hello everybody, how are you? Happy Friday and a huge welcome to episode 17 of Domain TV. So this week we'd like to invite you, if it feels good to you, as always, just to cozy on down, snuggle on down. We don't know what the weather's like where you are because it depends where you are in the world and of course when you're watching this, but it's a very beautiful but rainy day here in the beautiful South Downs, so it's really sort of on our side feeling like a day to really cozy down. And as ever, we're just going to talk you through some of the ongoing wonder and discovery and exploration that's been taking place through Domain Energetics. And we're going to be trying something new today where I'm going to energetically share with you something that I've come to discover in another part of our multiverse, and I want to try energetically sharing it with you so that you can see what I saw in my mind's eye. So there's going to be some magic taking place today. So as ever with Domain Energetics, we say they're beautiful, delight in them, they're amazingly sophisticated but beautifully simple to experience as physical humans on this earth. So there's so much gorgeousness to keep sharing. And so over the last week, we've been continuing to share some short reels with you, as always. And what's been really beautiful that I've noticed over the last week or so is that Domain's starting to take myself, and therefore us, for those of you that want to have a listen, on a journey where we're starting to explore and discover different aspects of our multiverse. And one of those aspects that's been coming forward is life elsewhere. And this is such a beautiful subject, and one that we want to share and showcase in a way that's full of love, full of wonder, full of curiosity, full of new discovery, of course. But often these kind of subjects are speculated about. And sometimes with that speculation comes the kind of inaccurate narrative that this could be fearful or threatening. And that's not actually true energy. When you're energetically high vibration and you're working with Domain in this way, you get this kind of broader perspective, which we'll also be talking about in one of our upcoming reels, being up high in a broader perspective. But you get this broader perspective and therefore true understanding that everything out there for us to explore is safe, it's beautiful, it's about coming together. And so it's about feeling very comfortable, very safe in listening to what we are going to continually be sharing with you, because as I've said before, Domain is my life's work and I freaking love it, and we love that you guys are coming along for the ride with us, that you're this open-minded, that you're welcoming in this new insight that others aren't yet talking about and uncovering, because in order to be talking about them and uncovering them, Domain Energetics need to be flowing with them. So it's really beautiful. So we touched on something last week in Domain TV where we talked about how I had been shown a bird on a different planet in our multiverse. And this is one of the things I want to energetically share with you today. So rather than just describing what this bird looks like, actually sharing what I saw in my mind's eye with you, almost sharing like an energetic imprint, if you like, or an energetic snapshot. So it's going to be beautiful to explore that together. But there's so much more we're going to be continuing to explore, and that's what we kind of wanted to introduce you to today, just in terms of looking out for us over the coming weeks. You know, we say there's like three wonderful flows, like broad flows with Domain: multiverse, earth, and history. Okay, and multiverse is definitely the flow that we're being taken down at the moment by Domain. And you know, with kind of discovering our multiverse, yes, we're exploring life elsewhere, we're exploring beyond the telescope, so other planets and that type of thing. You've already potentially heard me on reels talking about seeing suns on other planets and sort of a little bit of a taster of how other planets look. So we're going to be talking more about that, but also a really exciting topic that's going to be starting to open up, and I'm really excited for this because I know Domain's going to start flowing this to me so I can share it with you guys. And of course, remember, if you work with Domain, you can start receiving these insight flows yourself, of course, but we know that some people want to use Domain for themselves at this point in time, but other people just want to listen in and drink up the wonder, and that's absolutely fine as well. But another topic that we're going to be talking about, which is really exciting and wondrous, is human connections. So this is humans elsewhere on different planets, in different universes across our multiverse. And again, sharing and communicating this in a way that feels loving and safe and beautiful, because as we always say, but we are really passionate about helping humans to realize this, we've reached a point in our human evolution where we can work with our energy to understand things, you know, beyond the telescopes, beyond what any encyclopedia can show us. And so because we can now start to receive energetically in this way, to receive this incredible information and start exploring these new horizons, like horizons beyond where Neil Armstrong, by the way, is very present today, and he was very present yesterday as a non-physical guide and energy. But to start exploring horizons beyond where we can physically go and allowing ourselves to do that, knowing that we can energetically do that and receive insight in this way, that's very much part of what we're wanting to kind of share and educate about. But imagine the possibilities, more to come on this, Neil Armstrong saying, imagine the possibilities of us humans on Earth over time starting to connect to and communicate energetically with humans in other parts of the multiverse, even potentially multiverses, I'm being told. So that's very interesting. Well, that's like a world's biggest understatement. It's not just very interesting, it's like, oh my goodness. And the thing is, when I first started receiving around Domain a few years ago, before I was ready to start sharing it with the world, I always got that kind of multiversal creation connection, that kind of us almost working with Domain here on Earth and communicating energetically with physical humans in other parts of our multiverses and potentially co-creating with them through Domain. So this human connections, and you know, we talk about human connection, or there's a lot of talk about human connection, generally about the importance of it, and how we say through Domain energetics, like you being autonomous in your own use of Domain because you know how to use it, but then coming together and all shining brightly as Domain energetics users and lovers, and what we can create together. So we talk about togetherness as a really important thing. But imagine togetherness in a multiversal context and the new opportunities there, how we will be able to see and explore things and understand new things through that and create new through that. And God's saying it's such an exciting and flourishing time for us because we're ready to start doing that soon. So the notion of human connections in a multiversal way, so beautiful. Again, so what's going to be happening over the coming weeks, we're going to continue sharing as we always do, but there is going to be this kind of steer towards, you know, multiverse discovered, okay, and this steer towards beyond the telescopes, life elsewhere, human connections. And so look out for that. And, you know, just being guided to say again, for those of you that love listening to this incredible new insight and knowledge, that's a beautiful thing. But there will be some of you that are listening who are like, I also want to receive this for myself. I want to learn how to work with Domain and receive this insight myself. You can absolutely do that. And, you know, that's why I've written this book, Our World, What Comes Next. I know it's still coming out backwards on Facebook. They've changed their settings again, but Our World, What Comes Next, and lots of information on my website as well to help you get started. And of course, the Pioneering School of Domain Energetics for those of you that are wanting to start exploring these uninhibited new horizons yourself as well. So there's always that opportunity there for everyone. So it's going to continue to be a really beautiful time. And so what we want to do this week is show you this energetic imprint of this bird that we started to understand in the last episode of Domain TV. Now, I have shared a reel about this this week, I have shared how this bird that I received via domain is called, so it's spelled D-rill, and it's pronounced der-rill, der-rill. Okay, so this is the name of this bird species on another planet. What I've come to understand so far is that it's a planet with other human life on it. The planet I've come to understand that it's located on is called, I'm just checking it is right. Sorry, because there's two that are very similar in planet names. Hang on one second. That's really interesting that I'm being kind of paused whilst doing this live episode of Domain TV. Okay, it's actually located. Okay, that's really interesting. It's got a connection to both. Okay, so more is going to open up as I'm receiving here. Okay, so there is a connection to both Vilgeron and Vornil. Now, these planets were first spoken about by fifth dimension Earth. Okay, and what's interesting is, as we work with Domain, there are obviously other planets out there, many other planets, but some of these planets that fifth dimension Earth spoke about are coming through as we're doing our work with Domain as well. So this bird species is connected to both, okay, but Vornil is where I saw it, okay. So the bird species, there is a difference between them on both of those planets because they are different planets, but they sort of stem from the same energy, okay? And what I was receiving was, and we'll do a visual kind of share in a moment to help you see this incredible bird, this der-rill bird, like pronouncing it as I go, because this is all new as well, also has connections to the dodo that was on our Earth. So our Earth is the oldest planet out of these three that I'm speaking about. And so, of course, we understand here on Earth that the dodo is now extinct, but there are flows of its energy, sequencing of our dodo's energy within these birds on these other planets, so Vornil and Vilgeron. And these other planets, for those that are learning here, are located in different universes, because it's through different universes that we create a multiverse. And within these universes, those lead planets, like our lead planet in the Earth universe is Earth, those lead planets are Vilgeron, and then in the other universe that we're talking about, Vornil, okay? So this bird, der-rill, yeah, it's Vornil that's kind of coming through as like where I saw it, but there is a connection to Vilgeron also. Oh my gosh, this is like fascinating to receive this live, and it's actually really good for me to kind of practice receiving live in this way, because normally I receive kind of when I'm quiet on my own as well. So derivative is the word I'm being given. There's derivative sequencing that connects the two. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So again, more to kind of uncover around this over time, but it could be the case, I'm being told, that of course on other planets where there's life, there's birds that have derivative sequencing from birds that were or are on this planet. Now they will be different atmospheres, I'm being told, different environmental surroundings. I've been shown in the past, not through Domain, but through something else I was doing, volcanoes on another planet called Dogit-Balar. Again, this is a planet that fifth dimension Earth first brought through, and that volcano is completely different to a volcano on Earth. It's almost like the reverse. It's very, very interesting. So gosh, so much to explore here. So it's kind of understanding, what I'm being told is that interconnection, nothing being by chance, and almost kind of potentially evolving animal species, in this instance bird wildlife, sort of from our experiences on Earth, and then evolving them further on other planets like Vilgeron and Vornil. It's just fascinating. So it's just highlighting that interconnection and how nothing is by chance, and therefore how we're not just humans by chance drifting around on a planet Earth by chance, kind of with nothing else to kind of connect us. There's so much connection multiversally, and these are the kind of connections that can start opening up for us. So on to the kind of exciting bit. I'm going to energetically share with you an imprint of what der-rill looks like. I've described it in a reel this week or a typed post, but I'm going to share it with you energetically. So for those of you that want to do this, because I've never done this before, it's something my energy can do, is what I'm being told. Bit of a thumbs up there, get on Facebook. If you'd like to try this, let's do this together now. So it will be helpful, I'm being told, to close your eyes. So we all know it's safe to do that. So close your eyes if you want. Feel your energy, obviously not your physical body, but your energetics, so your energetic side, connect to domain. Feel your energetic side also connect to me. So we've got that three-way flow. And also then myriad, which happens naturally anyway, but in this instance being guided just to share, connect to myriad consciously as well. So you've got that four-way flow, and this is going to be really easy. We're going to share with you, because it's going to, what I'm being told is the detail of this bird is going to build more than what I've understood today. Again, an example of how domain can flow. So it is kind of dodo in size. So dodos were big, weren't they? So it is kind of that kind of size. But what I was being shown was, it was almost slicker, okay? On Vornil, it was almost slicker, so a bit more slender. The dodo was a bit more stumpy. So it's a bit more slender, and so therefore long, okay? And its body is like bright purple feathers, and its wings are like a hot pink colour. Actually, is it the other way around? Okay, it can vary, but what I was shown was bright pink colour wings with long feathers. So feel like you'll get a sense of those feathers sort of hanging off of the wings. They're really long, not like peacock feathers. Peacock feathers, when they come up, are obviously really long, but they are long, sort of tentacly is the word that I'm being given. And then this bird also has a very pale pink beak. And I'm being shown the colour of its eyes. So I'm just going to share that with you in a moment. Just checking something, so I'm just kind of piecing together what I posted earlier this week as well. Yeah, okay. So the eyes I'm being shown are a blue colour. And between male and female species, how fascinating. Male eyes are darker blue, female eyes are lighter blue. So again, you're going to get this energetic imprint in your mind's eye. And this bird flies because it's understood that the dodo on Earth didn't fly, but this bird flies, der-rill flies. So Vornil is that kind of very prevalent where I was shown it, but there is this connection to Vilgaron as well. But it feels newer on Vilgaron than Vornil. Very fascinating. So again, understanding some of like planets' ages and understanding that both those planets are younger than Earth. And I'm now being shown almost like a backdrop, so you might get a flash of the type of vegetation it's in or the background it's in. So let's have a little look at what's being shared there. So it can nest in the mountains, is what I'm being shown, which are a lot higher than what we have on Earth in places, is what I'm being shown. It also migrates to beaches, the shore, water at a warmer time of year. Let me just see what I'm being given, which is where they partner and mate. This is very fascinating. And again, beaches are going to appear different or have a different energetic profile to beaches on Earth, like the mountains do. And I'm getting that they pair for a good few years when male and female come together. And they have a very strong energetic presence on the planet that they're on, so I'm focusing on der-rill in this instance. And of course, unlike on Earth where the dodo's extinct, der-rill is still present. And now you're going to be given a shot of what it looks like when der-rill flies. As you'll see, it's kind of very long. But also admired for its beauty by the humans on der-rill in particular. And so this kind of gives you an energetic window or camera into the der-rill, which is amazing. If you actually just step back for a moment and think what we've just done there, that is amazing. And we talk about at the crux of domain how it stores energetic sequencing across all that is. And so, gosh, endless opportunities here, possibilities. Fascinating. So if you think about the energetic sequencing of a der-rill, taking some derivative sequencing from the dodo, love these terms, and again, I'm not a mathematician or a scientist, this is so usable for everyone. That sequencing might be taken by us to benefit us in the future. And again, we won't kind of do this as in so this isn't like experimenting, being like, oh, let's try taking some sequencing from there and try over here. This is not how domain works. Domain will always flow us what is needed. So if ever there was sequencing needed from the der-rill, okay, for whatever reason on Earth, it wouldn't be like we're kind of guessing and experimenting. That would be shared with us by domain because it is the perfect thing that we're needing in that moment for the thing that we're wanting help with, okay? And the sequencing will always be shared in a way that is harmonious for all, as we talk about in the book. So I'm just being guided to share, definitely don't think about this as, oh, we're going to start kind of playing with things and experimenting. That's not how it is. Domain's very loving. It will only share things that are harmonious for all, and it will only share what's true and right and correct. So, of course, there's possibilities everywhere with this, but it will be at right time, and domain will lead us, okay, with that. And then over time, our energies will start leading as well. But again, when our energies are leading in that way, it's when they're working with true energy. It's when they are working with what's harmonious for all as well. But, you know, think about this kind of knowledge coming into your day-to-day, and you might not be that excited about bird life, and that's fine. There's loads of different sequencing, loads of different flows. If you think about what we're going to be exploring over the coming weeks, endless discovery here, okay? Bird life is just one small aspect of what we can explore across our multiverse, and multiverse is just one of the three flows of domain. There's multiverse, earth and history, so it's vast what we can explore. But imagine you yourself or your children getting this kind of insight, you know? It's just fascinating and almost being shown like your children kind of doing an exam, like a historical exam, if we're looking at history flows as an example, and getting these kind of insight flows coming in, or a geography exam and getting insight flows coming in about Earth that are bang on for what they're needing, okay? It's so exciting. So this is just one example of how we say with domain, it has sequencing it can share with you, it has insight flows it can share with you, which is what we're experiencing now, but it can also act like a non-physical guide. It can steer and guide as well, again, at right time. And so it really is a delight to start uncovering this. And as we say, some of you are just going to want to listen to this and be like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. Others of you are going to listen to this and be like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. I want to start seeing this. I want to work with domain. Because I remember in past years, I used to look at people, I'm just being guided to share, as an example, Esther Hicks, gorgeous Esther Hicks, who receives Abraham, okay? And I used to think she's so lucky that she can do that. she's so lucky. And to be fair, I saw her a couple of times on cruises, and she would say, everyone can do this. Like Abraham would say, everyone can do this. And I would always be like, yeah, but how? How do we do what she's doing? Because I would always want to know that what I'm receiving is kind of right, and that I'm receiving well, and that I'm definitely receiving and I'm not making stuff up, which is why how I'm teaching domain and wanting to share it, and domain leaders who are sharing about it as well. It's like, if you come to this book, Our World, What Comes Next, or you come to the School of Domain Energetics, we will train your energy and teach your energy how you can start accessing this insight yourself, because it's not just for me to keep to myself, okay? Anyone I work with, I can help to start accessing this type of insight from domain, because it is about us all coming together. Imagine us all being incredible with domain and sharing our different insights that we're getting, and the possibilities, and how it's literally lifting the roof on opportunity for us as a race, as a species, as a planet, etc., etc. So if you are watching this, whether it's now or in the future, and you're like, I'm chomping at the bit, I want to see this, I want to access domain, start with the book or reach out. I'm offering beautiful one-to-ones, these 6-week opportunities where you can work directly with me and have Monday to Friday interaction around you yourself exploring and discovering domain. There's so much here for you, okay? And of course, don't forget, we have our domain event, the first domain event in August here in the South Downs in Alfriston, where I live. And there's so much more to come. So it's a very wonderful thing that we wanted to share with you today, sharing this energetic imprint with you. We'd love to know how you got on, so do feel free to share back. Know that there is so much more that we're going to continue exploring, and that's what it's all about from here on in. Just continual exploring, continual discovery, incredible new opportunities and possibilities. Nothing is restricted any further. It's like everything's uninhibited now, and for those of you that are loving this, domain is your vehicle to accessing this, and it's flipping awesome. So we love you so much. We hope you've enjoyed this more of like a chat today on Domain TV, rather than reading off loads of things to share with you. It's just been more like a really kind of cozying down chat, exploration together, and more to come. There's no rush. We have our whole lives. We love you so, so, so much, but we have our whole lives, and we are continuing. So we'll see you again, same time, same place next week. We love you so flipping much. Mwah.